No
Damn.
cap.
Ha! I was gonna tell my brother. I was just straight before you was.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. So
No, that's
boom,
lit though.
we got that started. Playing Blau on the string. Wow. For sure. So boom. Let's get this open. First screen is something. You want to continue? Yes. On FL Studio. Wow. So here we go. What's happening here? So initially, what we want to do off top is start with our melody and build from there. So boom. Oh, so initially we'll start with FL keys. Now, when it comes to the note that we want to start on, as you could probably remember when we first initially started all of our pieces, we first decide what note we want to start on. So I'm going to give you that remote access to
Uh-huh.
choose the key to begin our process.
Okay. Uh, that one.
So we're going to paste that. All right. And then we're going to open up our sampler. Oh, before we do that, let's decide what we want the tempo to be. So you see where the tempo is up top?
Uh-huh.
So I want you to
I
click
said
the
140
metronome.
like my last song.
You said it was 140 last time?
I think, or no, I think we slowed it down from 140 last time.
Okay. So let's go to the right of where those numbers are and hit the metronome.
Uh-huh.
Boom. And then I want you to hit the space bar. And then I want you to increase or decrease the speed using the big numbers.
You say using the big numbers. What you mean by big numbers?
So we're gonna hover
Where are
over these big numbers, and if we use the little numbers, it it it's not gonna affect it the way that we want to. It's gonna
Oh,
basically make it to where it's the numbers between 140 and 141. So we want to use this to decide how fast we want the tempo to be. Do you want it faster or slower?
uh, slow. Actually, hold on. I can't hear the metronome. I thought I could. I can't.
It was probably the mic picking it up. That's my bad, man. Keep pulling it down. Just let me know when to stop.
Yeah. Try like 100.
At 102. At 102.
Yeah.
That sounding all right? Mic check.
Yeah. Straight. Yeah. No, I was thinking if I wanted to keep that or maybe go to like 90.
90.
Um,
Let's
I can't hear the metronome. Okay.
There's a 90. You think slower or fast?
Nah, I think 90 is good.
Tight. So now I want you to open up the channel rack. And then once you open that up, go to FL keys. Or actually the sampler. It's my
Yeah.
mistake. And you can click on the right.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. And then you see where that gray note is highlighted.
Uh-huh.
That's where we're going to end up pasting. So first we want to go to the 3 lines to go to our scale. 3 lines up top in the left-hand corner. Up.
Yep.
And then go to minor natural Aeolian. Or
So
actually,
what is this? So like when you do a scale.
so usually I use minor natural Aeolian or major. So minor scale is usually like sadder, more serious music, and major scale is more like happy, upbeat music. So at this point, we would decide, do we want to make a song that's happy or do we want to make a song that's serious?
I don't know. I say serious.
Okay. So we'll go minor natural Aeolian, and that's down. Yep. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water. Real quick, what you want to do is paste over where that ghost note is, and then go down a scale to the same note.
Okay. Yeah.
So there, we want to right click that, and then we want to go back to the 3 lines and uncheck only one up top, and then click it again and hit minor natural Aeolian on the 3 lines. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. And the same thing, octave down.
You said same thing, but another octave down or
Yep.
up? Oh, okay.
And then we'll scroll all the way up and then do the same thing up top. Give me just a second. I had a session scheduled with Howard. I need to call him to let him know we got to do a bit of a delay.
All right. No problem.
So we want to open up our selector tool, which is E.
You said E?
Yep. And then we're going to highlight everything that we just pasted. And then we're going to hit P for our pencil tool. And then drag that out to the 2 using our horizontal arrow. Awesome work. And then we're going to go to FL keys in our channel rack. And we're going to go to the piano roll. And then you see where those 3 lines are. We'll uncheck those so it doesn't paste the same thing again. And we'll click none. And now we can scroll down to the note that we have. Yeah. And then we can decide if that's still the same note that we want to stay on. Now, I want you to decide if that's still the one that we want to go with, or if we want to use another one on that same scale. But now that we have our ghost notes, we can use that as a reference to what we can keep in that same scale of F.
Right.
Because as you know, now it's not only about the note, it's about the chord that the note creates.
Right. I can't hear. I can't hear my inputs.
Oh, that is a little bit odd. Can I tap in real quick?
Yeah, you got it.
Let's go to. Why is it there longer? Let's duplicate that. Clone. Okay. So I am going to save this and open up FL again. I'm not sure why exactly this isn't playing for me, but I'll save our progress. The rod, new, cook up, and then actually, let me see. Okay. So is it like that? Open it up again. And now, should, there we go. New cookup. Open. Wow. Were you able to hear that chime sound when the session
Yeah, I
opened
heard
up?
the. Yeah, I heard the chime. Yeah.
Bet. So now that opened up, all right. So now we can decide if we want to stick with this key or go with another one.
I can't see the screen.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Wow. There we go.
I got it there.
Awesome. You should have access now.
Click around a bit. Oh, I still can't hear. I still can't hear it.
What is going on?
Can you hear it?
No, I can't.
Man.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. We'll try another plugin. See if that works. Check something out. Let's see if we can find the solution really quickly. I don't know if it has something to do with the live stream or what, because we've never had this problem before.
I can hear the metronome.
Yeah. And you can see the screen too?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do the same thing. Sampler. Who's on what? F. So go back, uncheck only one. Oh, go back to minor natural alien. F. 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 And then F. So now we can highlight all of these. Drag this out to the 2. P for our pencil tool. And then once we open up F,
I don't even know if I chose the right note to start with. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of got a melody in my head. But yeah.
So let's see if we can recreate the melody that we have in mind. And if we have to switch up the scale, we can do that as well.
All right.
User sounds. We'll go to anything. Maybe writing piano. Okay. We can go to none so it doesn't paste these again. Now, what is the melody that you have in your head?
You want to whistle it?
Yeah. Could you maybe like hum it or say it in la? Like, la, la.
Yeah, la 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 la.
One more time.
La 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 la.
La la la
La la la la la la la.
la la la
La la la la la la la la la la.
la 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 la.
La la. Yeah,
Does that sound about right?
that's how the melody. That's how I want it to
Yeah. So I did that so
go.
we can kind of, and with you having a background of playing keys, this is probably going to come pretty easy to you. But essentially, usually when you have a melody in your mind, that's more or less how the process would end up going. Kind of playing around with the keys until you get every single note piece by piece.
Yeah,
So
that's how I taught myself how to play piano. So I know all too well how that process goes.
tough, super tough. So for the next time that we have a melody, or even if when we have a counter melody for this, because we are going to develop one, we'll have you paste it in that same process. So now when it's a situation where, because if you notice, let me see, undo.
Yeah, I see you took out the the other ghost notes we had. You know.
Yeah. So here, if you notice, there's these notes that don't fit, but those were in the scale that we were thinking.
Yeah.
So what we do is we delete the scale that we had,
Mhm.
and one, so we delete the scale that we had and then go back to our minor natural Aeolian and we paste. Oh wow, that rarely ever happens. So apparently that was the exact scale that it's in.
I
Um,
chose the right one.
well,
Or
no, it wasn't an F. I just randomly clicked one and it ended up being the one that we would have had to look for.
uh,
Um, but usually it'll traditionally it's been a situation where I've clicked one randomly and then like we have these stray notes and we have to kind of
yeah,
adjust until we find the right one.
until you can get them all, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And usually there are two options of what the note could be. So maybe like A and then yeah, so A or what is that? G, no, D sharp. We'll go A.
Yeah, I was just wondering that, does it matter if like say they come uh overlap or I mean not overlap, that's not a good word for it. Say if they line up on different notes or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in that case, I mean, really, I personally, I haven't like, I'm really like, I feel like music theory is an awesome tool to have, but the note set between that note and the D sharp, the chords that are able to be created are going to be different notes. And that's going to be the difference between selecting the A sharp or the D sharp. Ultimately, I've never been able to kind of like assess that before choosing a note. I've always just said, just shoot, I'll just go with one. Like I'll just choose one. But
Right. I
um
feel it.
like that's going to be the difference. Like the sound of the chords that you'll be able to create will sound a bit different.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't think that's even accurate because
Well, I was gonna say like after you fill them all in, it's gonna be the same. Will it be the same notes? Like
it would.
it was.
So no, there wouldn't be a difference.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was asking.
Huh. Honestly, that's one of the coolest things about like what I do is just the fact that like as I'm doing this and in these sessions, I'm learning more as I go, man. And
Right,
like I never would have even thought about that if it wasn't for that particular scenario, man.
right.
So here we are now. We have a melody which traditionally will lay out the chords, and that's assuming that we don't already have a melody in mind. So once we now that we have a melody, we want to either decide, do we want to build chords below it, or do we want it to be kind of one of those situations where we kind of let the melody be the main, the it will almost be like choosing the simplistic route with maybe using this melody, layering it with another sound, and potentially maybe doing another um, melody on top or below, but not necessarily structuring it with chords.
Uh,
That's usually going to be a simpler route. But I will say I guess it does kind of give you more creativity or more room to be creative within the end result of the sound because you're really putting it together piece by piece on some stuff. Does that make sense?
mhm.
Awesome. So which route would you desire to go? Do you want to go the more simplistic route, which ultimately would give your creativity a little more freedom, but it would take a little more time? Or do you want to go the route of pasting in chords beneath this melody?
Um, I'd rather do the chorus beneath the melody just because. I mean, I don't. I'd like to see what that looks like.
Awesome. 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 So what we have here, as you know, we have so between F, these two Fs, this is how we'll break it down. So between these two Fs,
Mhm,
we have the ghost note rule that applies. So from if we skip one, and skip one, we have do you remember me saying that whenever a note is an octave directly above, the ghost note rule doesn't apply?
nah, no, I
So,
never heard that.
okay, so you're familiar with the skip one rule, right?
Mm, yeah, can you just
So,
remind me right quick?
right. So when you have a note and you skip one, whether it's below or above, we usually
Uh,
go above if we're starting out the melody.
mhm,
But in this case, since we have it here, all of our notes are in the same range, this octave. Not too many of them are going too high above the next F, because
right,
this will introduce the next octave.
right.
So we have our F here, which is this octave. We have
Hmm.
our F here, which is this octave, and
Uh-huh,
we have our F here, which is this octave. And if you can tell that these notes are divided between these two octaves, but
right.
if we are assessing the ghost note rule, which is when, or the skip one rule, which is when you have a note and you skip one either up or down
Uh-huh,
and skip another one, it creates a chord as opposed to, so
right.
when we're pasting our chords, of course we can add more complexity to the melody because that's really what it would be doing if we started implementing the ghost note rule right here and then did it maybe like, it would basically just be making our melody much more,
Okay, yeah.
which is absolutely an option. Wow, that actually ended up coming out really good. Nah, that's kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Uh,
I ain't
our,
gonna
our
lie. That is
tempo
dumb
still too
fire.
our tempo still too fast. Can we
Yeah,
put that back on 90? Yeah, just
yeah.
before we get too far rolling, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Wow. So what I was initially saying was honestly that so there are two routes that you can go. It's either what just happened, which I've never really experimented with like that.
What?
Um, pacing the ghost note rule within the melody already. Because usually when we have the ghost notes, it's in a lower octave.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll do the skip one rule, and then we'll apply this melody up top, a counter melody. And it would end up sounding something like, but honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. That sounds really good. So
I'm thinking, I was thinking like, just like kind of letting them I slow down the tempo a little bit and like let the notes like kind of ride out each one, kind of like do 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 do, like
tough. So I'm gonna have you hit E and then select all of our notes. And then I want you to hit Control L.
You said control what?
L after you highlight all the notes.
L
Yep.
is it? All right.
And now you let's elongate the last note to the 4. After you got to click in the gray, otherwise it'll affect all the notes.
Yeah.
And then, yep,
And go all the way to
right there.
right there to the 4.
Yep, and then hit play or the space bar. So now
Yeah.
what we're
So
left with is what we want the final note to be or the final chord to be. Now, I want you to listen to this. Actually, we'll loop this section because this is 1, 2, the first measure to the second measure. So this is really where our focus is going to be. So now that we have this looped, I want you to select a single note for us to transition to. And we're going to use this note to build the chord off of. So we're going to play this.
you said, I'm sorry. What am I doing?
So we have to find a final note to end out this measure.
Okay.
So whatever note we want to take on this last measure to end out the melody. And we
Okay.
want to also remember that this is basically the outro of this melody.
Mm-hmm.
So if we start from the beginning, we'll have some context of what direction we can go with it. And what I think will help as well is if we mute the chords and remember what the melody is at its core.
Right.
So if we play this here, and we want one more note.
We want one more note.
Yep. I mean, unless you feel like that's complete, we can also build from that as well.
Yeah, I don't know, cause I think right here in the beginning, I want to go up instead of down.
Up instead of down on the chord.
Yeah, on the melody, this C sharp right here instead of like.
Oh, what is
It's
going on?
lagging. I don't know.
Let me tap in real quick. So I'm gonna save this so we don't end up losing anything. Cook up. Okay. All right. You can go ahead and tap in.
Man. Man, I'm trying to get it to like. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do.
So what note do we need to adjust?
This one. Thank you. Do, do. Um,
Oh, that's hard. What?
you said that was hard.
Yeah, what? Nah, that's cold. High key. Shoot, but keep experimenting. And we can take off the looper if we need to as well.
You, how do I do that?
We just double click where the red is.
Mhm.
Yep. We are
Oh,
good.
okay, cool. I'm trying to get the first part of the melody right because I know that's going like that's like the foundation. That's the concrete.
Right. So
Do-do-do-do.
so I would keep experimenting high key because for real, from what I heard, the melody was sounding hard. Like there was two different variations that was sounding super solid. So I would
Yeah,
keep experimenting until you get exactly what you're looking for.
right. I'm trying to figure it out.
Say
Say what?
I said say that one more time.
Nothing.
Okay.
My brother came in here. Close my door. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So boom. Right now, I have to get locked into another session, Rod. It
Yeah,
was
it's all
phenomenal.
good. We can leave it right there. That's actually how I wanted it to be.
For sure.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome, brother. So it was a phenomenal session as usual, man.
So,
If I
man.
have any extra time this week, I'll try to reach out to you to see if I can squeeze in a free session, man. Um,
So,
if I can, I definitely will. But without further ado, man, we have our next session scheduled for next Wednesday at
all
4
right.
p.m., brother. And I cannot wait to lock in. It was awesome
Uh,
as you.
hey, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. My cash tight till next week. I get paid on Thursday.
Okay, cool. So
But you already know, though, I'm good for it. I'm gonna get you right. But yeah,
yeah,
all right.
I feel you. It's all good, brother. We're gonna get locked in, all right.
All right, man. I appreciate it.